Well, hello there, friends. I just took them out of the oven. Pommes Duchesse, an old classic. In the 70s, friends, there was with every dish you could think of it. With veal, with pork, with chicken, with fish, with anything. The beautiful part of it is you can make them in advance. It's just a fancy way to serve mashed potatoes. And it's absolutely delicious, and we made it the classic way. I know you're going to enjoy making it. Remember, friends, if you like the video, thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to ring the bell. So like I said, I'm glad you're here. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to make them. Like I said, friends, the beauty about those mashed potatoes, you can make them in advance. And who doesn't like mashed potatoes? Eh? Very simple. So first, I got 3 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes. Get baking potato, get whatever potato you want, and you put them in a potato ricer. If you don't have one of those, this is good, or a food mill, whichever one you want, but you gotta get it. It's all about texture. It's all about nice and smooth. They're very simple to make, friends. This is like oh, by the way, when I make them in advance, I want to keep them warm. I don't want them to be too hot. Because if they're too hot, they're going to cook the egg. You'll put the eggs in it. So I don't want them to be too hot. So I have a spatula right there. And if you look how beautiful and smooth they are. The potato ricer does a really good job. All right, so flavoring in this. We're going to put some salt. Really important to put enough salt so they're nice and salty. And then we're going to put a little bit of nutmeg, fresh nutmeg. I show you this thing every time, and I always forget, but you can put nuts in there. See, nutmeg. Put them in there like this, and then you put one in the bottom of it, right? And then check this out. If you've never had freshly, let me see, I don't know if the camera could see it. Probably this camera right there could see the nutmeg coming out, see? Now, if you've never had fresh nutmeg, my friends, compare to the ground nutmeg you buy, don't even compare. So salt, a little nutmeg, it's traditional recipe, okay? A little bit of black pepper. I don't like black pepper, but for this recipe, I think it's important to put a white pepper. Did I say black? Yeah. See, they're correcting me there. It's really interesting how my brain works, right? I'm thinking of white pepper and I say black. How does that happen? I don't know sometimes. I wonder. Anyway, I always wonder about myself. 3 pounds of potatoes, roughly 3 ounces of butter. You're going to say, really? I mean, I would have put all this in there. But for those potatoes, you can't put too much butter. If you put too much butter, they're not going to hold their shape. So if you want to make those kind of potatoes and you expect them to hold their shape, you can't put as much butter. So put as much butter as you want, but remember, if you want to make them look pretty, 1 ounce of butter per pound of potatoes. I know, it's normally I put a lot more than that, but in this case, that's why I made a little more salt. We'll have to test them. And then we're going to put 2 egg yolks, because those are huge egg yolks. Those are like from an extra large. If you're using like a medium eggs or a small eggs, you want to put 3 of those yolks, okay? I put 2 because my eggs are very big and I don't want it to be too eggy because those eggs are beautifully fresh eggs. And then what we're going to do, you see my voice, I sound like Julia Child. And then what we're going to do, we're going to put them right there, and that's Julia Child. God bless us. Here we go, my friend. Look, we're going to put this in a pastry bag, mix it up really good. Now, take your time. You're not making a video, so take your time. And no, let me tell you, in the 70s, friends, I don't think there was a dish and didn't come out with those potatoes on there. I'm telling you, every recipe had one of those. And years ago, you never served mashed potatoes with any kind of seafood dish. But man, and all of a sudden, it became popular, and those potatoes were like, okay, that's a perfect way to put it next to a fish, next to a lamb, next to a chicken, next to anything. And it brings a little elegance, and like I said, the beauty. Oh, by the way, you can't put any cream or any milk in there either. If you want to make the traditional recipe, of course you can. You know, you could add garlic, you could add cheese, you could add chopped herbs in there. You can add whatever you want. But if you want to make them the traditional Duchess potatoes, then you do not add anything besides the nutmeg, the salt, the pepper, and the eggs. Okay, so now, we got them in a pastry bag. And remember, they can't be too hot because, oh yes, I got to test them. Sometimes I forget to test them. And if they're not salty enough, you add a little more salt. That's why I put them spoons, because sometimes I forget to test them. Sometimes, yeah, a lot of time. You know, when you cook in front of camera, it's not like you're cooking at home, okay? When you're cooking at home, you're relaxed and everything. Not that I'm not relaxed. I'm very relaxed, sometimes too relaxed. But I can't forget things, you know? If I forget them, then you guys are going to say, this guy's teaching me how to cook and he always forgets something. Very good. Yeah, there's some perfect chefs out there. That's not me. So, look, pastry bag. I use a big pastry bag. Buy a big one. It makes it easy. And what I do, when I put something in there, before I put it in, I twist it and I put it in. Twist it and put it in. Right? And hold it like this. So then whenever I'm putting in, it's not going to go, not that the potatoes have enough of a texture, friends. You see, the potatoes have enough of a texture, they're not going to go down. But still, it's important then you do this, so especially if you're doing something that is more liquid than those potatoes. All right? You know, I might as well do the whole thing. What do you think? I might as well do the whole thing. The 3 pounds of potatoes is not going to give you that much, especially the way I do them, you'll see. It's not going to give you that much, my friends. So let's take this out of the way. So now you see this is still tied up over there, but it's going to untie itself pretty quick. So now look, we take the air out. We take the air out. And now we're going to take this out of the way. And now what I'm going to do, I got some air here that I got to take out. So look what I'm doing here. I'm keeping my 2 fingers like this right here, nice and tight, right? Nice and tight, and I'm twisting. And as I'm twisting, it's starting to move the mashed potato there, you see? And it's going to take the air with it. See, look. See, my hand don't move here, right? It's the 2 fingers are nice and tight. And then the air is going to come out before the potatoes. See, look. See right there? They look at me like they go, no, I can't see anything. Let me take everything out of the way. There's air right there. We want out of there. And the minute, you see, I'm nice and tight, the air is going to come out. And the potatoes is coming out. Come to Papa. Hello, potatoes. Here you go, right there, the potato. No air. We don't want any air, otherwise you'll have air bubbles. All right, so you can put them in a round circles, you know, like this. You can do just a plain circle when you serve them. And then you can put gravy in it, or you can do a mount of it when you take them. A mount like that. But I like better to do something different, a little more elegant, if you will, okay? You take them, and boom. You see, look. Just a little more elegant. Just a little more elegant. You don't want to put them too close because they are going to, this is a little too close, they're going to touch each other. As they cook, they expand a little bit. See? Very simple this way, my friends, see? You make as many as you need for serving, or you could do something like this also. See, that's also another way to do it. See? However you want to do it. And then we got a little bit more in here, so maybe we do one more here. So you see, 3 pounds of potato gave us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 serving, kind of like. You know what? We're going to finish this guy right there. There you go. However you want to do it, friends, it's going to be delicious no matter what it is. So what I like to do now, I like to let them set in the refrigerator for just a little while. Let them set, let them solidify. And then I'm going to put them in the oven at 425 degrees for maybe 15, 20 minutes until they golden brown. So I'll put them in the fridge, and then we'll put them in the oven, and when they come out, I'll show you how they look like. Okay, I'm going to take them out of the oven, and voila. So now, friends, remember those potatoes, you can make them a little more browned. I took them out after 22, 25 minutes. You can let them brown. But the idea of making those potatoes, friends, is to be able to make them in advance. So right now, they're too hot and they're fragile. We're going to let them cool to room temperature. And then when we're ready to serve them for dinner, that's why I say it's so beautiful to make them in advance. When you're ready to serve them for dinner, you take a little drawn butter with a brush when they cool. Because if you do it now, you're going to hurt them. They're fragile, you know. They're fragile. The beauty about those potatoes is we have a nice little crust on the outside, and it's nice and mushy potatoes, soft potatoes, creamy potatoes on the inside. That's the whole idea, okay? So we're going to let them cool at room temperature, let the steam out. And then we're going to, when we're ready to serve them, we'll brush them with a little butter and finish them up in the oven. And they're going to be beautiful. Okay, so now let's say you want to serve them. You made them yesterday, you made them in the morning, whatever it is, you want to serve them. They are out of the fridge, so they're nice and firm, or you can leave them at room temperature, and you brush them with a little butter. Now, all of a sudden, you got a beautiful, shiny potato. Then you can just put it in the oven and warm and serve it next to anything, my friend. It's just a fancy mashed potatoes. It's a fancy way to serve a mashed potato. That's all it is. Okay, and at that point you can put a little parsley on it. See, even the ones that are round, I think the ones that are round are kind of like boring. And so now you can leave them alone, or you can put a little chopped parsley on it, or chop whatever it is. You know, you can just. But you have to see. Look at the butter. See, everything is better with butter. Look at it. It's like putting a little makeup on it. That's what it is. Now you pop them in the oven, my friends. Pop them in the oven and get them hot. Put them with your chicken, with your meat, with anything you want. Put them in the oven, and then I'll eat them in a minute when they're hot. That's all there is to it. Okay. How easy is that, friends? Like I said, it's just a souped up mashed potatoes. And you see, if you do it correctly, if you do it on a steel pad, they come out really, really easy. But a parchment paper would be fine, or you know, you could even put some non-stick spray or butter on a cookie sheet, and it'll be fine also. And the idea is, then there is I'm gonna have a little bit. The idea is if there is the outside is a little, but the inside of it is just a beautiful, very smooth mashed potatoes. See, huh? It really is a mashed potatoes. You know, you could put also a little chopped parsley on it. See, look. See, you can take a little chopped parsley on it and make it look pretty. Yeah, you make it your own. Put a little Parmesan cheese on it. You can do whatever you want on it. The parsley makes it look kind of pretty. And of course, you can put more butter on it. It's delicious. My friends, I hope you make it. Remember, thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to ring that bell. Thanks for watching, friends. They're hot. Those delicious mashed potatoes. Now we better cook some food, because otherwise that's what we're having for dinner, is mashed potatoes. Whoo! Even though they're very young, and they got hot.